Cool. Hi, Holly. Right, great. So let's go on to 154 C to Sparkle. Now, something I've noticed you doing, which is good, is this issue, and somehow I just because you're doing it, I forgot to mention it. Every time you talk about audit risk, when you mention the risk, you must discuss the consequence, and you have been doing that. And typically, the consequence will wrap around the word. As a result, this could be overstated or understated or whatever, and you've been doing that, right? That's good. So you must talk about the risk, and therefore also in the same box talk about the consequence. Right. Good. So this question of benefit of audit planning, I think you could almost get away with just talking about the point of planning in general, if you like, and anything rational, right? I mean, you've said something about because planning. Remember the planning process included that was audit strategy, wasn't it? Making sure. So it means, I mean, this is an expensive exercise. Good focusing attention. Um, you were able to offer assistance better. It's just when things are planned, right? Making sure you have the right skill. Do you need to bring in the right? What skills are you going to have to make sure we don't miss out on any areas? If you like, make sure we cover the audits in time. Make sure it's a profitable venture. If you like, make sure people are monitored. That sort of thing. Make sure we don't get sued. Whatever. Make sure we give the right opinion. So really, anything, if you like, would work here, I think, in general. So I wouldn't go too gaga on the textbook and looking to cram what they've written. Just any good, clear ideas of this is a project we need to plan and we need to make sure we come out on the other side profitable and having given the right opinion. Great. So you're good. Straight away you jump into the audit risks here, and you're right. There's a cutoff risk, isn't there? These things are on the high C. CETA purchases. If you read it quickly again, you will just quickly read through the question. It's not a long question, but the key point is you have this business that's buying goods and they're coming over through from Africa, and they are on the seas for some time. So the question here is very much about cutoff, if you like. What year do they relate to? So this is very much correct, very good. 1.3 expenditure development. So this is very much about development costs. Now, if you remember the development costs, this is IAS. You don't need to know that. It doesn't really matter. 38. But the key point here is that when you're developing something, there's research and then there's development. Research must be put through expenses. Development can be capitalized. So what you ultimately want to see is, can I see a breakdown? So when you say complete testing, what you want to say is, yes, complete testing, but tell us exactly what you're going to do. So get a complete breakdown of all those development costs, and then see for yourself which should be revenue and which should be inquire as to which should be revenue, and therefore let those become revenue and which should be development. Really important. Good. Invested again, same thing here. Good. Very good breakdown. So yeah, I'm happy with this question so far, to be honest. Bonus scheme. This is interesting. I think what this is really saying, it's really about professional skepticism. Really, because as soon as we have this, once we see this thing that managers are likely to have changed it to focus on year-end total assets, we can see that A minus L becomes very interesting, because we know that really what we're seeing here is an attempt to overstate assets in every way possible and to understate liabilities. So very much about professional skepticism. Here again, we want to ask what the rationale is behind eliminating the provision. Good, and which you have done. And because as a result, and always talk about again the consequence. Good, this could have been inflated to improve the bonuses, and therefore leading to an overstatement. Um, an overstatement of assets, and therefore, yes. So yes, good. So this sort of thing, the opening balances have been transferred fairly, and here we have, yes, good, again, risk of that being overstated. So again, you can see here, these are the issues here. Very good. I was happy with this one. Let's see. The last question was about, um, see, the last question was in line, the responsibilities in reviewing the audit work. Yes, the audit work should be reviewed, each page, and signed, if you like. And of course, competence. Yes. Let's see what they're saying. So we cover this quickly. all the work must be reviewed. Excuse me. Sorry about all of this. I have a cold. So where are we? We are here. I mean, you can just go through these again and just quickly see um, what we're discussing. So let's go through this very quickly. So Seeds of Sparkle, year-end cutoff testing, breakdown, like we said, breakdown again, professional skepticism, alert to this risk, maintain professional skepticism. Um, yeah, so again, you like what I was saying, it's almost like you tell us what the test is going to be. Here, see, there's a risk the receivables will be overvalued. There is a risk the manager might be motivated to overstate. You want to constantly be stating what the risk is after you say what the risk is. Yes, please. There's a risk here, new ledger system. There's a risk that data, and you do actually. So I'm happy with that. You do actually discuss these things. There was some issue with reconciliations. I don't know how many they wanted, but um, this is interesting. I don't know if you picked this up, but you close this down on the 8th rather than the year end. So you can see that transactions between the 1st and the 8th, we need to make sure that we don't have this cutoff testing ultimately to make sure that information related to the 1st and the 8th are not in our year end ultimately. And of course, here we are. I think you've highlighted a lot of the things here. Supervising and reviewing the assistant's work, and that's your responsibility. Make sure the person is competent, and addressing significant matters. Anything they've raised, we raise it up. We're able to. So I'm quite happy. I think review that again, but some good work. So again, it's just looking at this over and over again, and just making sure you have similar answers. Making sure you have matters for the audit manager or engagement partner. So once you get your mind in the frame, you start knowing kind of what to write. Those are the mark schemes. These are just strong guides. Strong guides. Okay, great. So I think yes, this question definitely would have passed. I don't know what the. Let me look at the. So here, I think yes, I would have given you yes. Maybe I'd be giving you 3 out of 4 here, and here probably giving you closer now 9 out of 12, and the right at the end over there probably giving you yes. I think yes out of here maybe 2 out of 4 just for being cautious. So 2 plus 9 plus 2. Yes, 2 plus 9, 11, 11 plus 3, 15, 14. So 14 out of 20. I think that's fair. And that's good. Yes, okay.